Has MLB The Show 25 turned the proverbial corner? And not that the game is necessarily good, but it's better than its previous iterations up until this point. Well, today we're going to tackle that question, see if it is, or are we just doing the copium? I don't know. My name is Specs and I play MLB The Show terribly, and I make videos on it for you, the viewing audience, to enjoy. So if you like my brand of chicanery and slapstick, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe so you don't miss any more of whatever the heck this whole thing is. But with all that being said, let's jump into it and see if we can answer our thesis statement correctly. So ultimately the question begins in a weird beginning spot, and I want to begin with how it started. So let's just start there. Let's begin with, let's just start from the beginning. Where it started originally was basically here with my journey. And in my journey, the goal was this 85 of your team's choosing. Not necessarily, a banger card for us. And for a lot of us, it was new cards. Like for the Angels, it was this new Bobby Grich. I love this Bobby Grich card, by the way. I love him. For other cards, for other teams, they got decent one. I'm trying to remember. They got really good ones, kind of like this Kyle Schwarber here. This Schwarber is a banger, an absolute banger. He had great power for when the game came out. And all these guys had very muddling stats that would lead to weird things happening. The exit velo was down, and a lot of people really had different opinions and theories as to why and stuff were made at this point, because that's how the game always begins. Is it always kind of begins with weird balanced cards and stuff, and then we kind of work our way through. And let's talk about the first inning bosses. The first inning bosses, I think, were rather, special, to say the least. One of them being, let's start off with the contributor series. The contributor series, Jesus Louise, this contributor series, Adrian Beltre, he was an 88. They were 3 points over the My Journey cards. These are his stats. Not a lot of power, a fair, decent amount of contact. And that's really it. He had decent fielding, but ultimately his swing is what carried him rather to being picked. I picked him second, I think, I picked Manny first. This Beltre was there, and kind of looking back on it, he might have been the weakest of the bunch. Next up was, I want to say, oh God, was it All-Star? Was it an All-Star Manny? Was it All-Star? It wasn't All-Star. What was Manny? Oh my God, I gotta remember. Spot. It wasn't Spot. Second half Heroes, Manny? Shoot, what were you, Manny? Last ride. That was Breakout? Man? No, that wasn't Vet, was it? Good Lord, what was it? Oh, sweet mother of mercy. I don't remember what it was. Postseason? It might have been postseason. Postseason Manny. There we go. Postseason Manny. Pretty good card. His first card of the game. Haven't seen a card since. This was the first card he got. Pretty good card. Not shabby. A lot of people took him. His dreads broke the game, but that's either here nor there. And then last but not least, I believe, was playoffs or postseason. It wasn't standout. That was All-Star. Is it All-Star McGuire? It might have been All-Star McGuire. Is that the one who I thought? Was it second half hero Mark McGuire? Oh God, my memory is horrible. Horrid. Contributor Mark? No. Last right? No, so it was like 2000. What the dizzle? What am I doing? That was All-Star. Was not, because he would have been an 80 something. Oh, there it was. It was an 80 star. Mark McGuire had a lot of power, low vision. Again, was it the best card at the time? Probably not. I couldn't. I picked him because he had pop. He had the Thunder. He had the Thunder down under. He was ready to go. He was ready to party. He was pretty good. Pretty good. And now, and then the second inning bosses came out. Josh Gibson's kind of neutered from what he was originally. A lot of balance power, and he was way overpriced. He still is very overpriced. The other second card of this series, I believe, was a second half Heroes. There's another all-star contributor. Like, it was Ken Griffey Jr. with reverse splits. I think I remember what these stupid subsects cards were. It's something. There's so many. Because I think it was Last Ride. Good Lord. Well, oh wait, he's in my lineup. Gibson's in my lineup. This video's all over the damn place. I tell you what. Gibson was standout. Pretty good card here. I think everyone should have picked him. Pretty honestly, he's disgusting. We all know this. And then last but not least was center fielder Kenny Griffey Jr., who had reverse splits. Again, not the most exciting in the world, but hey, they gave it to us because God forbid they gave us a righty. And now we're left with the third program bosses. Starting off with, I didn't talk about the free card because that free card really didn't. I don't even remember what the free card was. The free card here is Matt Cain. He's going to get obliterated online. And the bosses being Bernie Williams, who's a lefty killer. Eric Gagne, pretty good at the pen. And guess what? Another lefty killer by the name of Trevor Story. I don't know why they did this, but these are kind of underwhelming. And the prices sort of reveal the fact that they're underwhelming. So this thing aside here, which I'm not even halfway done with a week to go. So, hey, kudos to me doing my bestest here. That's good. The thing that changed, I think, a lot of people's minds here. Well, let's start here. This thing sucks. I don't want to talk about this. This thing is horrible. If this thing continues, we're going to have problems. Because this is the dumbest program I've ever witnessed in my entire life. I have spent hours complaining about it. I don't want to continue. However, the thing that sort of turned the corner here, or started the turn, was this right here. The Moonshot program. Moonshot had a bunch of the game. From program to mini seasons, everything. Everything was home run related and covered in Moonshot. All these Moonshot cards, I think, were fun. All of them. Stellar. Brian Roberts at the end, 92, 90 power. Good, sweet baby Jesus. 82, 94 power for Roberto Clemente. Heck, Alvarez, 72, 89 power. He doesn't have power. And the packs were delightful. The highest cards here are still over 130 stubs. Jaime Candelario, 97, 110. Sweet God. Lou Brock's got 80 power for crying out loud. And Jason Giambi always has that power. But that's neither here nor there. But look at some of these guys. This is fun. Bo Bichette, Big Cock Jock, Brewster, My King, Zachariah Nito has a card with pop. This was ultimately fun, and it was given to you. A lot of the cards were given to you for free. I got 2 cards out of this Moonshot. The Moonshot. I don't have Buxton yet because I don't have the 11 cards. But I mean, look at this. You complete mini-seasons, you get this beefy toady Gwyn. And this turned it around for a lot of people. This was sort of like the start of the turnaround. And then what do they do the following week? Color Storm. All these cards are delightful for some reason. A lot of them are pretty good. Some of them kind of suck, but that's neither here nor there. One of the ones that I'm just going to say isn't very good. Nico Horner, I'm sorry, you kind of suck, right? He's not very good. I'm sorry, Nico, if you're watching. It's not personal. Victor Scott, again, sort of the same thing, but there are some this is very underwhelming too, by the way, but there's some bangers like Masasaka Yoshida. Pretty good card. He's got a disgusting swing. Zach Leiter could be fun. Brian Wu, I think, is very underrated in this. Like, there were a bunch of cards that were good that sort of helped it. That did the trick. Now, ultimately, do I think this goodwill is going to continue? I hope so. But there are some black eyes on this, mainly this program right here. I know these cards have finally kind of dipped down, but it looks like they've slightly recovered to around 20K. And to get them all, still going to be a lot of stubs. I don't even know. What's the cheapest one going for? They're still around 20K. I mean, hell, Andres Munoz is still 43. So it's not like this collection is getting any cheaper, and they still haven't done a whole lot to get you it, to let you get it, at least in a reasonable fashion. I pulled 2 of these cards, and I've sold them both. I pulled Munoz, and I pulled Libator, and I sold them both. So that's where I stand. The April Lightning of the Player of the Month card, I like him. He could have been better. I think the Retro Lightning needs to change, and I don't foresee them changing this anytime soon. But hey, we have to deal with. And again, if they do something like this, I swear to God, I will lose my gore. However, they did in their own merciful way say, hey, here's a free pack that will not help you in any way, shape, or form. But that's neither here nor there. So in 2 weeks, we get to do it again. 2 weeks from Friday. So hold on to your butts, kiddos, because it's about to get silly again. Now, ultimately, to answer the question, has MLB The Show turned the corner? I think they're starting to do some goodwill, but it might be too little too late to bring players back. One of the things that's interesting and dictates a lot of things is how they do the reward structure. And if they're already starting to remove things and barriers, it kind of means people aren't playing as much and they want to entice players to come back and play. Now, one of the things that could happen is the All-Star stuff that is about a month away. Hypothetically speaking, All-Star Week is a little over a month away. That could bring players back to it. I don't know if it's too little too late, but those are always fun times. There's some 99s that could be coming from that, and probably a couple programs too. But ultimately, at that point, are we going to be too far gone to even warrant doing this? I mean, in a week from Friday, we get the 4th inning program. And I don't really see the need for players to come rushing back to do it. Again, they could drop some other stuff along the way. The monthly award stuff is one of the things that will be dropping probably later that week or shortly after. Is that going to bring players back? Ultimately, probably not. If it's the same format that it was, where it's this weird nonsense, is there anything that brings them back? I don't know if this does it. I truthfully don't know. I don't foresee players coming back, but I think ultimately steps in the right direction do make it worthwhile coming back. But the problem is, how far down have we already fallen to where there's no getting back up? You just kind of got to hit yourself in the face. I paused way too long. So those are just my thoughts. I could be totally wrong. I might be right. Ultimately, I do think we're stepping upwards, but I think we're too far gone to really maintain good momentum. I think a lot of the goodwill we had, or they had, is gone. And unfortunately, that's just where the game sits. It kind of goes back to the honest conversation we had that was 40 minutes long where we ripped the game to shreds. Has it improved upon that point? Yes, but I don't think it's doing enough goodwill to offset the stupidity from the start of the 3rd inning program. I don't suspect them to really fix the things that need to be fixed, which is unfortunate, but every so often they do hit balls out of the park. And with that, we see what happens. But ultimately, they still got time to fix it. I just hope it's not too late. So let me know down below. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that? I know we were all over the damn place because I couldn't find shit, but nevertheless, leave a like for my stupidity, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.